So, welcome to the Four Pillars of Awakening. This is a two-part series. Over the next 2 days, we will be exploring a teaching that I received through my channel in 2020 that I haven't revisited since I ran the Awakening portal in 2022. And when I originally received this, it was called the Four Pillars of Ascension, in that when we embody these four pillars, our energy, our frequency ascends in that it lifts into a higher frequency, right? And so I'll go into all the details of what that means over the next hour, and then tomorrow we'll do a practice to really anchor it in. But for now, as per usual, we're going to start with meditation and prayer. So I'll get you to close your eyes. And just begin to drop your awareness down into your body. Noticing how you are feeling in this moment, any emotions, any energy, any sensations that are alive inside of you, and just observe without judgment, without preference, without any need to be different, accepting your inner reality exactly as it is right now. Noticing if you're holding on to anything that might have happened before this class, anything that might happen afterwards, and just gently let that go. Arriving right here in the present moment. Dropping deeper and deeper inwards. Allowing your breath to deepen and to lengthen without force. Softening the belly to create more space for the breath. Then using that breath, begin to relax, release, surrender. Any areas of tension, anywhere that you might be holding on too tightly, breathe into it and let it go. Dropping deeper and deeper with every exhale. Rooting your energy down through all the layers of earth, connecting into the crystalline core of our Mother Gaia and feeling her loving and gentle gravitational pull against your physical body, grounding you down, and rising your energy up through all the layers of earth, through your center line and out through your crown, expanding out through all the dimensions of consciousness and connecting into the loving heart of divine God source frequency. This golden pillar of light spiraling down through your central channel, anchoring you earth to sky. And then relax, surrendering more deeply, allowing your energy to begin to expand outwards from your center in all directions, inviting in lightness, softness, spaciousness, a loving energy, and experiencing a gentle lifting, lifting, lifting into higher vibrational consciousness. This is felt. This is felt. This is felt. And continue to turn your awareness inward. Continue to follow the breath as I speak this prayer of intention. Great Creator, divine source of all things, we awaken you within us now And we ask to be surrounded by a sphere of divine white light, so that all that moves through here is in accordance with the highest truth and for the highest good of ourselves and all those we encounter. We thank you for your presence today and all days, and we honor you. We set the space with the 8 directions: north, east, south, west, above, below, within, and without, and the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, in order to alchemize all that no longer serves. We call in all benevolent and loving guides, allies, spirits, teachers, healers, ancestors, the ascended masters, the angels and archangels, the extraterrestrial beings of light, and our higher selves, in order to support us for our greatest transformation and healing, and to hold us in the highest frequency available. So be it. Take a deep breath into your belly. Inhale. And exhale. Just let it go. And drawing your full awareness into your physical body, into this time and space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and meet me back here. Okay, Gerasiti. That's so cool. So I am bringing through this teaching for the first time in a really long time. I'm incredibly curious to see what has, I want to say, developed since the first time that I started to teach this. If you were connected to me in 2020, especially if you were coming to my Friday channeling circles, I was talking about this all the time. Almost every single session, we were talking about the 4 pillars and what it means to anchor in to the 4 pillars, not as an idea, not intellectually, but as an experience in and through your body. Or if you were a part of the Awakening Portal, there was an entire module that where I talked about the 4 pillars as well. That was in 2022. So this is the first time that I'm speaking about it since then. And when I set the date for this masterclass, I was really reflecting on how much this teaching, the tangible aspect of this teaching, has benefited and informed every single moment of every single day of my life. And it's actually very foundational to my way of being and where, how do I put that? The way that I walk through my life, I think about these 4 pillars. And if one pillar is even a little unsteady, the whole thing falls apart. So, so the 4 pillars of awakening are, and I want to be very clear, the combination of the descriptive words are very important. So as I say these, I want you to actually feel into what each of the pillars means on a visceral, experiential level. Okay? 1, unconditional love. 2, ecstatic joy. 3, infinite compassion. And 4, deep gratitude. So my aim through this class is to help you to not only think of that as an idea or an ideal that you want to move towards, but to actually start to think about what does this mean on a visceral, tangible, physical level as an emotional experience. So I'll go deeper into each of the 4 pillars in just a moment. But what's important to remember is that when we have all 4 pillars intact, and we are holding these pillars primarily within our heart center, we are standing on a deep foundation of divine awareness. Because when I feel into the 4 pillars, and especially, and this is key, and we'll talk about this extensively, especially as a unified emotion where these four pillars no longer are, they become indistinguishable from one another when we feel them all at once. When we bring it into a unified emotion, a state of being, what we experience is the way that God experiences itself as a whole. Now, when I received this teaching, that was a lot for me to hold because I was being guided to bring in each of these four pillars, to feel them all individually, and then to start to bring in two pillars, feel them together, bring in three, bring in four. And what I started to have happen in and through my experience was a tangible firsthand experience of the perspective of God, which is an incredibly bold thing to say, but I really believe and know and understand that the experience of God, divine, universe, source, all consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it's not a thing. It's not some being out there. It is the very fabric of the universe. It is the very fabric of all things. All of life itself is conscious. And as conscious beings, we can tune in to consciousness at the highest frequency to have that experience in and through our body, where we now experience ourselves not as the only aspect of God, but as an aspect of God from the perspective of God. So my intention, my bold and audacious intention for today, is to at least open up an invitation to start to practice embodying the four pillars so that you can start to have more and more experiences of your own inherent divinity. Because for years, I have been cultivating a relationship, a direct relationship with God's source, not externally, but first through my body, and then beyond that, in all things. And in my experience, when I feel into the ultimate truth of the divine, and when I have been given blessed windows into the experience that the all is having, when I've felt into that, the divine itself is experiencing at all times unconditional love, ecstatic joy, infinite compassion, and deep gratitude. Okay. So, unconditional love. I feel that we all understand unconditional love as a concept. It seems like a really great idea. And if you were a part of the most recent masterclass from last month, where we were talking about love being the only viable path, then you know that to choose the path of love is actually incredibly challenging and requires a great amount of courage. Because, and again, I repeat, I'm not just saying love is the pillar. I'm saying unconditional love is the pillar. Unconditional, without conditions. This means that no matter what I feel, no matter what I see, no matter what I experience, I choose love unconditionally. Whatever is before me, whatever is within me, the answer, the only answer, is love. And that's easy enough to say. I think we can all agree that that feels true. But when we are engaging in our life, it can be incredibly difficult to choose love. Because we have our preferences and we have our judgments and we have our stories and we have our limitations. We are operating in separation. We're operating in a reality of duality, of yes and, of good and bad, of black and white, of shadow and light, big and small, fast and slow. We're operating in polarity. And in order to have this physical experience, we need to have that polarized a dual experience. We actually want the dual experience. And I talk about this in my work all the time, that we're actually not here. We're not trying to only exit out of separation and come into oneness. No, we're holding both. So we're holding the truth and the experience of our oneness with all things, that we are unified with all things, that the divine within me and the divine within you are one and the same. The divine within all things is the same, right? It's all one thing. We can have that understanding, or even just basically comprehend that understanding. If you're lucky, you get to have a visceral experience of that understanding, and that's what I intend for you to experience in anything that I'm doing here. But then we also get to, yes, and hold the experience of separation as sacred, as something that God's source itself loves unconditionally. Hear me in that. God itself chooses separation to forget itself, chooses to be severed from the truth of its own divinity. If we can understand that, and just opening up the fields for a deeper level of understanding, that all my human baki adora. I know, all things, all experiences are chosen consciously by the divine as that which it loves unconditionally. Not it as in something outside it. You have to comprehend that the entire universe, the entire all, is conscious in and of itself. Last year we explored existential kink. And when Existential Kink by Carolyn Elliott. She's going by Carolyn Lovewell these days. This book changed my life. I mean, if you've been here for a while, then you know. I was talking about it nonstop last year. And the reason that it changed my life is because it revealed to me very clearly something that I understood in some ways experientially, definitely understood intellectually. But through the practice of existential kink, what was revealed to me as a deeper gnosis was that the divine was choosing all the things that we don't like. That it actually loved all of that. It wants the drama, it wants the theatrics, it wants the challenge. It wants the heartbreak, wants the pain, wants the fear. I'm not always going to be here spouting love and light. Yes, I will. But on a level that most people are afraid to go to. I was talking to someone recently, and I mentioned the side of God that loves all the dark things, all the scary things, all the hard things, all the challenging things. And yeah, if you really understand that it's all God, then it's all God. All of it. And I watched her go, oof, oh, we don't want to. We really love to have this idea of the divine as Gerasitra. I'm just hearing, scrap your ideas of the divine. Whatever you think it is, it's so much more than that. And truly it loves it all. Which means there is something in you that loves it all. Even if your ego is protecting you from being able to see it. This past week I've been going through a rupture. Major rupture with friends, and very painful, super heartbreaking, devastating. And on one hand, there's the part of me that's just, oh, please, God, take this from me. Take it away. I don't want this. I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. It's sticky. But I am very viscerally aware of the part of me that's like, ooh, this is juicy. I love this. I love the drama. I love the pain. I love the sadness. I love the hard conversations and all the things that come with that. So it requires that you get really honest. And if you choose to live an unconditionally loving life, you start to see everything from the perspective of unconditional love. You find yourself softening your judgments, softening your criticism, recognizing that it's all divine, it's all the divine choosing the thing that it loves, whatever that thing is in any given moment. Unconditional love. Unconditional without conditions. And no matter what I experience or see, I will choose love. Now, let's just keep this focused on self, because I'm sure there are many different ways that you have operated outside of unconditional love towards yourself. There are likely ways in which you love yourself fully and you show up. And then there's likely ways that you don't. That I can love that, but I can't love that. When I do that, that drives me crazy. I don't like it. That doesn't feel good. No, thank you. I absolutely will not ever love that. Because what would that mean about me if I love that about myself? Whatever the thing, think of the most cringy thing that you do or have done. The true path of love will have you loving even that. Letting all parts of you sit at the table without rolling your eyes, without getting angry, without pushing it away, without fighting. So you don't have to get this right, even in this lifetime. I want you to see these 4 pillars as a map, a guideline, a North Star to hone into. There are times where I get unconditional love. I get it. There are times where I am able to access unconditional love, no problem. Easy. Of course, unconditional. And then there are times where I have such a hard time loving it, whatever it is. And it takes me days or months or years to actually honestly love whatever it is, right? And so I invite you to take inventory of where you have not been unconditionally loving with yourself, with others, with the world. And just get curious about how you can start to explore what your life would be like if you actually started to love all of it without conditions, releasing your preferences. Whatever it is, whatever is here, I choose to remain in the frequency of love. It's bold, it's courageous. Yara siki, nana hiki tra pae sigit, gracia capohiatra. Okay. Next pillar, ecstatic joy. Kamara siki. Ecstatic. When I feel into the word ecstatic, it is orgasmic. It is ecstasy. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, wow, yes. The joy of being alive. And this, again, because we've already gone over unconditional love. So we're unconditionally loving anything. We're also responding with ecstatic joy in response to all things and all that we are and all that there is. Wow. Amazing. Amazing that this even exists at all, that I get to have this experience. Oh my God. Joy is not limited to just the good stuff. Like I said, this past week, I've been going through rupture, a lot of pain. And I've been practicing this pillar to actually experience the joy of sorrow, of grief, of loss. Just like I was talking about before, is that there's a part of us that loves the drama, loves the challenge, loves the difficulty because it gives us something to work with. So there is a part of you that finds joy even in the things that you think you don't like. Unconditionally, absolutely ecstatic at the opportunity. Anything that comes up. If I'm really honest with myself, I am always experiencing joy for whatever it is that I'm experiencing. When I can get my ego and my stories out of the way. Wow, even this, I enjoy it thoroughly. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity to experience this. It has a very turned on quality of aliveness. And it's not joy because something is happening or because something has you've received something or you've seen something. This joy is not attached to any one thing. It is joy for the sake of joy. Ecstasy for the sake of ecstasy. You could be sitting doing absolutely nothing and you could be just ripe with ecstatic joy. You could be overflowing with ecstatic joy. Right? With this comes a curiosity of, wow, almost like an innocence. What else could I experience in this life? And again, there's no hierarchy in what you can find joy in. That is a practice. Can you allow yourself to be in ecstatic joy about whatever it is that is here? Now, ecstatic joy doesn't always come out loud. It's not all, it can be very, wow, wow, it's amazing. But ecstatic joy, ecstasy itself, can be quiet too. Like the kind of joy that I've experienced about the enjoyment of my human drama in the past week hasn't been big, hasn't been loud. I know this is I just can feel how much is clearing. This one specifically, gotta see God. And I'm just gonna ask a little bit about that. Becky, sukoi? Yeah, yeah, no shit. That here pues si entra. Jag ska bara kieturo sen bara. Nara si entra. What I'm hearing, gotta see truco entra si entra. Is that often we don't let ourselves experience joy. Feels like a risk. Or we feel guilty. Well, I can't be in joy when one, other people aren't, and two, when there's difficult things happening in my life. If there's a difficult thing, joy and the difficult thing can't coexist. So we're shifting that. Because, yeah, they can actually. I experience it all the time. In the past month, I have actually had a really difficult time accessing joy because there has been so much difficulty. At least joy in the traditional sense. I've been experiencing heartbreak and sorrow and sadness and anger and frustration and disappointment and things not going the way that I would like them to be going. And so it's actually taken a little bit more effort to find joy. And that's why I say that although I'm not going to bypass the painful experience I'm having, I've been choosing that, okay, if I can't find the traditional joy in this moment, what do I enjoy about what is happening right now? And I have found such liberation in acknowledging, even just acknowledging, that any part of me is enjoying the challenge. Because I know it makes me stronger, right? And so there's always an invitation to start to embrace more joy just for the sake of joy. Not because something is going a specific way that we want it to, but because we know that we can access it. whenever we choose. That this life itself is ecstatic. When I think of ecstasy, I think of, like I said, orgasmic. And as I've been doing work for many, many years, I have yet to find an emotion that I cannot totally get off on. That I can't find that orgasmic state of, oh my God, this feels so good. If I'm honest, because oftentimes our stories get in the way and our judgments and our conditions. Like, I'm not allowed to find that orgasmic. Grief? That's not orgasmic. Anger? Oh no. Unless you let it be. You can let it be orgasmic, right? And when you do, hear me in this, when you do allow more of that ecstasy, even in the more difficult moments, then your life becomes more ecstatic across the board. Way more orgasmic, way more turned on, because you're allowing yourself, rather than picking and choosing what will bring you joy and ecstasy, you are allowing all the content of your life to bring you joy and ecstasy. Ecstatic joy. This is something that you cultivate, right? Unconditionally. You can unconditionally love everything that I experience, everything that I feel, everything that I see externally and internally. I'm going to find that ecstatic joy as I experience it all, because the love itself cultivates more of that ecstatic joy. When you are in a state of unconditional loving, oh my God, life becomes so joyful because I love it all. What a glorious opportunity, right? God, I love this teaching so much. It's been so long since I talked about it. Yes, Mohasandra. Drasiki ano trani siento. Okay. Pillar number 3. Infinite compassion. That's a big word. Infinite. Close your eyes right now. Imagine infinity. Feel it. Sense it. An infinite state of being. This means, much like unconditional, you can open your eyes now, much like unconditional, infinite compassion knows no bounds. No matter what, finding compassion for yourself, for others, for the world. Infinite compassion for the pain, for the suffering, for the heartache, for the joy, for the love, all of it. Wow. I'm so compassionate to anybody who is alive at any time, because it comes with so many challenges. I don't care who you are, if you are alive inside of a body, things are getting hard sometimes. And that's just true. I always like to say it, I'll keep saying it. Bare minimum, you're going to die and somebody you love is going to die, and that's going to be difficult. Right? So life is hard. We don't know what anyone else is going through, just as nobody knows exactly what it is that you're going through. And so can we cultivate a type of compassion that knows no bounds, that is infinite, that is being offered to everyone? Now, this doesn't mean that in your infinite compassion, you don't have boundaries. It's kind of a yes and in that. Doesn't mean that you need to, unless you want to. Unless you want to. You don't have to sit with the lepers and, be with the sick and dying. Or go, to a third world country and do mission work or whatever it is that you're doing in your compassion. You can. You certainly can. But it doesn't have to, you can literally sit in the safety of your own home and embody infinite compassion for the world and everybody in it, yourself included. And what is compassion? It's the courage to actually let in the painful experience of being alive, rather than blocking it out, rather than suppressing it, rather than denying it or making it prettier or more palatable. True infinite compassion doesn't need something to be more palatable or more comfortable or more pretty. It can be raw and ugly and messy and loud and hard. Then you choose compassion. Not the kind of compassion that is, what's the word? Complacent. That sits back and just says, oh, well, whatever. I'm compassionate of their hurt, but you don't do anything. If we see people perpetuating harm, it's in our nature to want to speak to it and to support in the healing of it, in the remedy of it, right? But you don't have to lose compassion in doing so. I have a practice where I actively will sit for periods of time and think about the people that are doing the most horrendous crimes, that are causing the most deep, awful pain. And although I don't condone what is being done, I don't condone the perpetuation of harm. I can hold compassion for the kind of atrocity that causes somebody to perpetuate that kind of pain. Right? It breaks my heart that I don't even have to know what it is that happened to you to cause you to perpetuate that kind of pain, but it must have been bad. It must have been really fucking bad in order for you to think that that was okay, right? So I hope you can hear what I'm saying here. We're not condoning bad behavior. In fact, a lot of the work that we're doing here is in direct, I wanted to say like combating. I don't love that word. Opposition, that's a better word. In direct opposition of perpetuation of pain. Right. Healing, wholeness. But we can practice holding compassion for the suffering. And rather than closing ourselves off to it, we can lean into that compassion and practice being compassionate. Because it'll break your heart. Like real compassion hurts. Really hurts. Right? When I see someone in deep pain, I can't help but let my heart break for them. Because I know pain. I know pain. Fucking sucks. And there's some really bad pain out there that people are dealing with and dealing with quietly. I watched a movie recently called A Real Pain. Wow. Really good. And there's a monologue. I won't say too much about it because I would love for you to see it. There's a monologue in it where he's talking about how everybody is experiencing so much pain. And so why bother even talking about my pain and burdening somebody else with my pain when I know they're in pain and they're just trying to navigate their pain? There's something really magic that happens when we, one, acknowledge our own pain and we validate our own pain and we say, oh yeah, I'm in pain, while simultaneously acknowledging, and you are too. We all are. It's painful to be alive, emotionally, energetically, sometimes physically. And we're all just trying to figure out how to navigate the pain of living, even the pain of love, the pain of consciousness, right? So we can cultivate infinite compassion for ourselves and one another, for the earth, for the animals, and every living thing that is here, and what it takes to be alive. Takes courage. Anyone who has chosen to incarnate, period, you are courageous. Period. Even if you got here and you're like, oh shit, that's a lot, and you tap out. I get it. I really do. It's really hard to be alive and unconscious, not to mention being alive and conscious too. On top of that, ooh, you're empathic. Ooh, ouch. Right? So we've got unconditional love. Unconditionally loving all that is here, within and without. Ecstatic joy. Wow, yeah. The opportunity to live and to breathe and to be conscious and to experience with infinite compassion. Whoa. And everybody else is having a wild experience, and I'll never fully understand the wild experience that any individual is having, and I'm having a wild experience, and wow, here we are together. And the fourth pillar is deep, deep gratitude. Deep, holy shit, gratitude. Again, not for any one thing. It's not attached to any particular experience or situation, circumstance. Nope. Just gratitude for the sake of gratitude. Deep gratitude. Oh, thank you for this opportunity to be alive, to be in this body, to have consciousness. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for all that I'm experiencing and all that I'm overcoming and all the realizations, this remembrance, or this lack thereof. Thank you for this life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, infinitely onward. And as a somatic experience, this isn't shallow gratitude. Oh, thank you. Deep. When I say deep, I mean, think about this. Deep inside of your body. The kind of gratitude that reaches all the way into the depths of you. A gratitude for everything. Unconditionally. Whatever it is, I'm just grateful. You know, I had an experience, what was this, last fall, I guess a year ago. And I was having a really hard time. So I got down on my knees and I prayed. Because I didn't know what to do. I got down on my knees and I started praying for all the things that I wanted. Please, there's a yes and in this. Always. Pray. Pray with a passion for all the things that you desire. Get really fucking clear with the divine in terms of what it is that you want from this life. Don't hold back. But in this moment, the medicine that I needed was to hear God say to me in that moment, the only prayer I want to hear from you is thank you. Just thank you for this life that you have been given, this moment that you have been given, this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, when you craft a prayer, talk to people about prayer. I don't know how to form a prayer. Thank you for, thank you. You start with thank you. With gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of it. There's not a single thing in this life that I'm not grateful for. I'm grateful for it all. Even the hard shit. Because it fortified me. It strengthened me. It gave me power. It gave me character. It gave me merit. The challenges and overcoming the challenges helped me to see who I really am and what I'm capable of. Years ago, I was listening to a podcast, and the man in the podcast was saying, we often are so grateful in hindsight. We go through a lesson and we look back, we're like, wow, I'm actually really grateful that happened, because I can see in hindsight that these things happened. And if this hadn't happened, then these things wouldn't have happened. And it got me to where I am. So rather than waiting for the future to look back and be grateful for what has happened to you, you have an opportunity right now, right here and now, to be so grateful for whatever is here, trusting that it is all for you. That whatever it is, however challenging, and I'm saying this to you and I'm saying it to me, you can be grateful for it, because you know that it's going to shape you into the person that you came here to be. Every single thing. Can you find the courage? Can you find the courage to own that? To be grateful. Thank you. God, source, divine universe, all consciousness, creator of all things. Thank you for this experience right now, and now, and now, and now. I am grateful. Easier said than done, but a worthy practice. To pin this as your North Star, right? Giatora. Mickey. Okay. So we got our 4 pillars. Unconditional love. Feel that. Loving without conditions. I love it all. This, I love it all the way. Everything about this experience. I love it. And all the beings, all the people, everybody out there that's having experiences and everything that's here, I love it all. Full spectrum. There's so much beauty and terror and everything in between. Wow. God loves that. Loves it all. Created it on purpose. Created it all on purpose. Ecstatic joy. Wow. This. Amazing. This is awesome. Like truly awesome in the deepest meaning of that word. Awesome. Wow. This is a playground. I could do anything that I want. I could have so many different experiences in this body, with these people, in this world. Yes. Oh, yes. I'm so turned on. Letting yourself come alive with love, with joy. Okay? This is an experience on a visceral, physical level, an emotional level. Okay? The infinite compassion. Oh, whoa. Letting your heart break to the experience of being alive. Whoa, it's courageous. It's a lot. It's painful. It's heavy. It's dramatic. You never know what's going to happen. Oh my God. It can just destroy you. And it does. And all the people that have been destroyed by this life, my heart breaks for it all. Because I love it all. And it's so joyful, but it's also so terrible. And oh gosh, the compassion, it's infinite. And then deep gratitude. And thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, God, for the gift of life, for all of this. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. It brings me so much joy. My heart is broken, and I'm just so grateful. When you zoom all the way out into the greater field, the all that there is, and you dare to feel the way that that is feeling, it's all four of these pillars all at once, unified. Oh my God. I love this. I love this that I have created. It brings me so much joy, and it breaks my heart. And it's so hard, and it brings so much drama and challenge, but I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for it all. You see that? You see that there's the four pillars. Step one, get really good at each of the four pillars. Put drops in each of those buckets every single day. And be intentional. Write them down. Put them somewhere. You'll see them every single day. Unconditional love, ecstatic joy, infinite compassion, deep gratitude. Boop. Then practice experiencing it as a unified emotion. And what will happen with practice is more and more you will have a direct experience of the divine as you. This is what happened to me. I received this teaching and I ran with it. Okay, I'm going to work to be unconditionally loving and ecstatically joyful and infinitely compassionate and deeply grateful. And like going to the gym, I'm going to exercise those muscles. Then I'm going to blend them together. I'm going to see what happens when I bring it all together. When you bring it all together, now you find that you are in so much love and joy, and your heart is bleeding, but you're so grateful for it. And you can actually engage with life and see it as the miracle that it is, and celebrate it, and really deeply honor it, and reverence it, and be here with all of it. That's the magic. Tomorrow, we're going to go through a practice where I'm going to get you to actually experience each of the four pillars and then unify them so that you can actually integrate this. But today, what I want you to think about is how you can start applying right away the four pillars in your life. Lots clearing with this one. Of course, lots is clearing. It's not very often that we see people that are operating with all four pillars intact, right? Like I've met people that are incredibly loving, but they'd never experienced joy. Or I've met people that are really compassionate, but they're not grateful. Or people that are joyful, but they're not loving. So we get to actually exercise this. Like I said, like a muscle. So this is your takeaway, your homework after today's class. Start just playing with what that would actually feel like somatically. And notice what comes up for you, because there's likely going to be some amount of resistance because we are playing the game of separation. And when you unify the four pillars, you remember that you are one, that you are divine. And it's hard to stay in separation when we have realized the truth of our oneness. Now, once you realize the truth of your oneness, you can then come back into the game of separation and play a totally different game, which is one of the deeper missions that I have here, teaching you all of this. I want you to remember the oneness and the truth of who you are beyond your identities, your ego, and your name and your story and everything that's happened to you. And to get behind that, to experience pure consciousness that is not separate from anything or anyone. And then from that pure consciousness state, you can then step back in to the game and play as an awakened being, the holy human animal, which is a totally different game to play. If you are part of animal, then you know. To be conscious and awake and aware, loving and joyful and compassionate and grateful, but in the game, right? That's where things get so juicy, so juicy. Now, I said this at the beginning. If any one of those pillars is shaky, it all kind of starts to, but when all the pillars are in place, it stabilizes our nervous system, right? We come into a state of peace, acceptance, and participation with life. And that's what I desire for you. That's my prayer for you, is to really be able to participate. Something that for years I've had, what's the best way to describe it? Like, I've taken issue with some spiritual teachers. This is such a bold thing that I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. Because so many spiritual paths, so many traditional spiritual paths ask you to renounce your life to be a holy person. You basically have to exit out of the human game if you want to be holy and pious and good. You can't involve yourself with all of this animalistic behavior because that's unholy. But if we have an understanding that all things are of God, all our desires, all of our urges, everything that we do, our bodily functions, our drives, our just this whole thing is of God, created by God, through God, then there's not a single thing unholy about any of it. It's all holy. This human experience is holy. And so what I have seen is that, yes, there is the renunciate's path. And in some ways, it's easier. Think the monk in the temple. You're following a strict schedule, meditating and, being in the spiritual space, devoting your life to that. If that is what you are called to do, blessed, because there are genuinely people that are called to do that, and that is the path for them. The majority of people that come to me, though, aren't here for the renunciate's path, to exit out of the game. So instead, you stay in the game, but you activate your awareness of your inherent divinity and your consciousness and your presence, and you come awake. So that as you engage with this very human life and this very human experience, you can engage with the perspective of the divine intact. So what this path offers is a suggestion that you can simultaneously know that you are one with all things and know the truth of who you are behind all your identities and stories and labels. You can remember that and keep that remembrance intact. And you can also be deeply human and have the human experience that isn't always pretty or kind or comfortable, right? You can still be in relationship. You can still, stay up all night dancing and do silly things and cry all night and have your heart broken. Scream. It's all grist for the mill. You get to have it all. And I don't know, I just feel like more people should be talking about that, because every path that I walk down, every traditional path, I came up against a wall where I was being asked to renounce the life that I loved. I didn't incarnate here on this plane to not experience what it is to be human. I want all the stuff that comes with humanity and being human. I want all the good stuff. I want all the bad stuff. I want the whole thing because it's holy. Because I know that that's what the divine wants through me. And what the divine wants through most people. Working to alleviate suffering by avoiding it altogether. Not reacting. You can alleviate suffering by accepting that it's here and playing the game. Being here with it. Choosing to be loving, joyful, compassionate, and grateful for every single moment that passes through and everything that comes with it. No, that's not an easy path necessarily, but it's an exciting one. It's the kind of path where you actually get to live your life and learn how to enjoy this life, to experience this life, to find joy in the simple things, in the complex things, to find joy in the quiet, still moments in the chaos, to love it, to see other people that are going through some shit and just being like, yeah, I see you. I know. And just being grateful at the end of the day for it all. Right? So your homework is to play with the 4 pillars. Just in your day-to-day experience. I'm not going to give you any particular practice. We're going to do a practice tomorrow. So for now, just explore this. How does it feel? Where do you notice that you fall out of unconditional love or ecstatic joy or infinite compassion or deep gratitude? Notice where these pillars get shaky for you. And then every day you put a drop in each of the buckets. Start working towards it. It's very simple. Very simple. But if you exercise and cultivate these 4 pillars within your body as a living, breathing experience, you will find so much peace and you'll get to enjoy your life so thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Thank you for being with me today. I'll see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central for our practice and our application, because I don't want to just keep this cerebral. I want you to actually experience this. So I'll probably drop also a journal prompt or 2 underneath this for you to just do some journaling so you can start to explore these 4 pillars for yourself. Okay. Woo! Oh, today was so good. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Drink lots of water. Always, but especially after these transmissions, there's frequency going on in the background to make you thirsty. Water is very conductive. Right? Get your feet on the earth, go outside, put some sun to your face. And be in love. Unconditional love, ecstatic joy, infinite compassion, deep gratitude. Let it become you. I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.